If this land was left on its own to nature, fire would come through periodically and naturally reduce the number of trees and create opportunities for new regrowth to rejuvenate. And that's part of a natural cycle. In this case, what's happened here in the Elephant Hill fire, we haven't had fire for most of the area for many, many decades for a number of reasons. And what happened is the trees in the forest grew much thicker, closer together, and they grew much older than they normally would. This area has been burned. It burned quite hot because there were so many trees and so much fuel.
Now you're having higher intensity and you have bigger fires. Than the 2017 Elephant Hill fire. That fire was just around 190,000 hectares.
Now, after the fire, we have this opportunity to kind of restore it ecologically.
This land was originally part of a cutting permit owned by somebody else, another license holder. They abandoned it because they saw no opportunity for this area, because the fiber in the area has been so degraded, there's no real economic value. It was left to no one to manage it. It was just left to degrade and then be an impaired forest with limited regeneration. So CCR saw it as a challenge to take this area on and rehabilitate it.
This project seems to make sense in a way of harvesting burnt material, if you will, or fiber, and helping to continue on with the secondary manufacturers at the same time, rehabilitating the landscape and planting a new forest when we're done.
So in this particular site, we want to try two things. The first one is, we know it will work for sure, is taking the wood that we're taking out and throw it into a wood grinder and create biomass with it.
What CCR has proposed to do is to do the land clearing, but instead of piling and burning the dead wood like would normally happen, they're actually going to put it to good use to make green, sustainable bioenergy.
The other option is to test it with a chipper and see if the chipper could take enough of that burnt bark out of the wood, and if the product will be of a good quality that is good enough for pulp and paper.
If it's suitable to make pulp products, we can make organically sourced products like paper and cardboard containers and thousands of other products that can be made from wood fiber.
If that's the case, then we would say that it could open up a new source of fiber for the pulp and paper industry.
We were looking for opportunities to explore how we convert silvicultural slums, burnt over areas, use the fiber, generate jobs, and bring that fiber that historically would just be laid to waste to the pulp mill and convert it into value-added products.
We're going to see if we can produce a chip that is marketable, that's acceptable in quality for pulp mills.
We're trying some new techniques with the harvesting and also how we process the fiber so that we can make a higher quality pulp product or biomass product.
This is where we're at, and this is what we're trying to do. So it's an experiment. We're not so sure. You're looking around and you see the value, or you see the state of the forest, and you're like, can we salvage it and utilize it for byproduct like biomass or hog fuel or even wood chip for the pulp industry? This is what this project is about. We're trying to answer those questions.
It's just a really good win-win. You're making green energy or sustainable forest products, helping ecological recovery for wildlife habitat and reducing greenhouse gases, while at the same time generating family-supporting jobs.
I'm super excited how everybody's working together and trying to make this work, hoping that there's going to be more communities and more opportunities to do this and continue this type of work across the province, because there's vast amounts of areas with similar types of forests like this that needs this type of work.